Isolated large hail, damaging winds, an isolated tornado, flash flooding, a fire risk, tropical disturbance, and even smoke. Good morning, I'm meteorologist Pew. Today is August 3rd, 2025. I forgot to charge my microphone, so please excuse the audio. In terms of severe weather, we have a slight risk or a 2 out of 5 from the eastern Rockies to the Texas Panhandle, and a marginal risk throughout, but also in Oregon and Idaho. The greatest risk is we're going to see hail up to 2 inches or greater in diameter, and especially from the eastern Rockies to the Texas Panhandle, we may see isolated hail in Oregon and Idaho. We also have a chance to see damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour in both these areas, and also an isolated tornado or two for the eastern Rockies and Texas Panhandle. In terms of flash flooding, we have a slight risk in the southeast and also from Oklahoma to Texas, and again for the northern plains to central plains. For the southeast, you're already seeing rainfall from yesterday, this morning, and it's going to happen all day into next morning. In the next 24 hours, you're going to see an additional rainfall from 1 to 3 inches, and isolated places 4 inches or more. For the Tennessee Valley, you're going to see an additional 1 to 2 inches in scattered places. For the Texas-Oklahoma border, you're already seeing remnants of an MCS, which is a mesoscale convective system, which is just one big blob, and you're going to see an additional 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. But this will dissipate into the afternoon. From the eastern Rockies to the Texas Panhandle, it looks like storms are going to start initiating around 21Z or 4 p.m. Central Time. From Nebraska to Minnesota, we may see something around 19Z, and that's 2 p.m. Central Time. And these storms are going to be scattered and possibly go throughout the night into the next morning. And some of these areas may see an additional 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. For Oregon and Idaho, it looks like 21Z, and that's 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Now, staying in the West Coast, we're going to have an elevated fire risk in the Great Basin area, where we're going to see relative humidities in the single digits and wind speeds up to 15 to 20 miles per hour. And in addition to that, these storms that are forming in Oregon and Idaho may be elevated, basically meaning that these storms are going to be developed way higher in the atmosphere. And with the surface being extremely dry, any precipitation that falls may evaporate before it even reaches the ground. So lightning is going to pose a risk for fire, which is why we call these dry thunderstorms. Looking at the tropics, we have 2 disturbances, one off the mid-Atlantic coast where there's a 50% chance of something forming in the next 48 hours. So this is already going to be drifting to the east, so we're not going to see any major storms in these areas. But if you plan to go to the beach or something, there may be high rip currents. Now the other one in the middle of the Atlantic, we have a 30% chance of something forming in the next 7 days, and this is going to be something we're going to have to look at. Looking at the surface, we're still going to have smoke in the Midwest and now to the northeast, and this is because of a high pressure that's sitting in the Great Lakes region. And the high pressures are associated with sinking motion. So looking at the jet stream or way up in the atmosphere, we're going to see two things. We're going to see northwesterly winds coming from Canada, and we're going to have westerly winds coming from the west. And these two are going to transport that upper level smoke into the high pressure where there's going to be sinking motion, and that's why we're seeing surface smoke. Looking at the southeast, we have a low pressure, and that's counterclockwise flow, and it's bringing in warm moist air from the Gulf into the stationary front where it's producing consistent surface lifts. And a similar thing could be said for the southern plains. We have a stationary front going from the eastern Rockies, but we also have a warm front that's bringing in warm moist air into Texas and a dry line coming from the west. And that's why we have